Okay, I've just been talking to myself because this shit's crazy, but I mean, I guess I'll just start recording. So I'm not sure what people want when they say we need definitive proof of extraterrestrial existence, human consciousness, interconnectedness with the world, with the universe. We have all the answers throughout space and time. We're discovering more now, and our ancient ancestors know so much that we don't understand the transition. We understand this from ancient civilizations. We understand this from what we know now. We don't have this middle piece, and that's our duty as human beings, to figure that out and piece all the information that we have together to understand more information. And when people ask for definitive proof, it's like they're asking for it to be written out for them, to be handed to them on a golden plate. That's not the way the world works. The world sends us signs and signals and points to something that all collectively point to the same thing. And we have to figure out those arrows and what they all have in common. And there's so much information. In fact, we live in the world of information. We live in the era of information where we can literally pick up our phone and search up an answer, and we can probably get it. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse to be ignorant now. There's no excuse to ignore and suppress. There's just simply no excuse. If you want to choose that life, you're wasting it. Because we have so much potential. We have so many unknown capabilities that are suppressed from us, that are kept from us, because it's very powerful. And if we access it, we can change the world. We can heal the world. And I don't understand how it's not definitive proof enough that the fact that we are literally killing our world, and the world is literally dying. We are literally killing the world, and none of us really pay attention to it. We just live our lives, kick our feet back, and watch the world burn. But we have all the tools provided by the world, by our ancestors throughout space and time, telling us what we need to do right now. We're wasting time. We're distracting the masses from what really needs to be done. That's because none of us are noticing. We know that there are obstacles in the way. We know what we need to do. We've known it throughout everything, that humans are created to love and to learn and to seek truth and to seek meaning. Yet we're living in an age where people think love is dead. We're living in an age where nobody understands their meaning, and everybody's depressed and distracted and unfocused. Everybody's living in their head, when the most important thing about observing and understanding consciousness is to be present, because the presence is all we have. You know, when we live in our memories and we live in our past, we allow our brains to suffer and mold and be poisoned by thoughts and emotions that we're thinking about over and over and over again, that they don't really ever benefit us. They're just keeping us in this prison in our heads. And the future, if we're just constantly thinking about, oh, I'm gonna fail, oh, I'm never gonna make it, you know, anything that you could be worried about in the future, it promotes worry instead of really understanding what we need to do right now. And that applies for the littlest of things, like, oh, I need to get up out of bed and exercise. And it also applies to what we need to do to save the world right now. There are very realistic, proactive ideas that exist that we could easily just understand and start actually doing it. We can do it. We can. We have all the resources. We have all the money. We have all the ideas. We have all the people. And it starts from within. And I know that people are going to undermine that idea, and that's the problem. That's why we are progressing so slow as a civilization. And that's why we're in this turmoil, because we don't understand why humans are spiritual creatures from the root of us, why our nature, our human nature is to be kind and to love and to teach each other and support each other and connect with each other. We know that connections exist because we want to get married and have children. We want to have a lot of friends. And a lot of the people who understand spirituality want to have a connection with God. There are a lot of people who feel the presence and know the presence. They just can't pinpoint exactly what it is. And we have definitive proof, pointing from all different arrows and all different sides, all different stories of the world that are telling us what the answer is and how to access it. And it starts from within. It starts from within. Humans have the capacity to understand, see, talk, love, do, feel, and be. They can. We are. That's what we do. That's what human beings are. This is the test. Everything that we're seeing right now, the fall of the world, the fall of humanity, all the struggles that it's undergoing, all the hate, war, depression, bloodshed, everything that we're seeing is a test if we can really understand why it's happening and what we need to do to change it. And guess what? We've been behind. We've been slacking on our homework. We haven't really been learning from other humans like we should be doing. And we're suppressing information and we're hiding truth and we're ignoring the problems. And guess what? We're gonna be, if we continue to have that mindset about the world, we're gonna fail our test. Because you need to start studying. You need to start waking up. We need to start understanding what we need to do right now. And humans have the capacity to do it, and we can, and we will. We have to start spreading the word. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not going to make a difference by just talking about it. Absolutely it will. That's how humans communicate, right? Don't we want to start communicating about how we're going to save us? How we're going to save everything that we started? And you know, everybody has a mindset right now that they're just a human being. They're just their own single being, and that they can't make an impact and they can't make a change. Maybe not on a macro level, but on a micro level, absolutely. And if all of us have that mindset, then we can on a macro level. We can. We will. It's obvious. It's like a 1 + 1 = 2 sequence. That's all it is. If we have more people talking about it, then it will be solved. That's all it is. And if people just start educating themselves and using the technology provided for them, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse. We can do it. Let's start doing it. People are waking up. You know, people are starting to realize that they're craving something else. They don't want to be depressed, and they want to know their meaning. And they don't like seeing the world burn around them. They don't like seeing everybody else ignore what's happening. People are going to get sick of it. And I hope it happens collectively, because it needs to. And if it doesn't, we're all going to fail. We're all going to die. And if people keep ignoring that. Yeah, anyways, don't ignore shit. Start observing. Notice that we are one with nature. We really are. We're literally made of stardust, man. Like, we all came from the same supernova. It's like saying if I split this apple into millions of little pieces, wouldn't it all be the same apple? Yes, they'd be all individual pieces, but they would all be part of the same entity, right? That's us, man. We all are created by this one supernova, this big bang. And now here we are. And we're all individualized, and we all have different purposes and meanings and stories, but we're all the same innately, aren't we? And we can piece those pieces together. That's our job to do that, though, and we don't need definitive proof. We don't need it written out for us to realize that. Because it's up to us to realize that. All the world does is it works in its own way and points us signals so we can connect that. We, the builders, the creators, the connectors. And it's up for us to do that. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Okay, peace, please, learn.